How's everybody doing tonight? We are trying to get the hybrid exo cage started out, and the night did not start well. Had the Jeep pulled in the garage, and the other night I was helping the kids in the backyard, and I had my nice DeWalt metal cutting chop saw sitting behind the Jeep, and started to back over it, and then heard some terrible noises and stopped. I was like, oh no. So probably should have quit before I was... or should have quit while I was behind, I guess you might say. But fortunately, just bent the shroud. I was able to tweak it back in. And seems like I didn't destroy the whole $400 or $500 saw. But we are persevering, can't say that word, here tonight and getting started with this exo cage. So I picked up some 3/16 pads. These are plasma cutout. I mean, they're decent quality. They're 4" by 4" and they have 3/8 holes. I could buy them cheaper than I could make them, and they're A36 plate steel. So started figuring out where my landing points are going to be. So these locations up here, there's going to be 4 of them, are where the tubes will come down through. And then there's a mating plate on the roof, which you will see up here. So this is another 4x4 plate, which sandwiches the roof. So this sheet metal is like super thin, wimpy. If you've ever seen a video of an XJ rollover, they do not do very well at all. So we're trying to make a cage here that can take a flop and not, this isn't a Mint 400, 120 mile an hour cage, or Baja 1000, whatever you want to say. So we will get this figured out, but to give you a general idea of what's going on here, use a piece of tube. So one tube is going to come from my rock sliders down here, up through the fender, cut a hole through the fender. There will be a tube coming up here along the A pillar. It will be bent really nice and tight, and then follow the drip rail all the way down. So here on the East Coast, lots of trees. You get into ruts and grooves and stuff, and then the vehicle wants to lean over into the tree, then kiss your A pillar goodbye, and your doors don't close, and the roof leaks, and yeah, not what we want. So we are going to have a piece of 1.5" DOM tube the whole way down along here. We'll be using this tubing roller to keep that nice constant radius on there. And then everywhere these plates are, there will be a tube that, obviously the factory roof rack is coming off. There'll be a cross tube coming over, and it'll tie into here. And those will be rolled ever so slightly to try to match the roof contour. I think what makes an exo cage, people either love them or they hate them. I can't say that I love them, but as tall as I am, there is no way I'm getting enough headroom in here with all the tubes on the inside. So this is a compromise. But I think when they look goofy, it's normally because there's too much separation between the tube and the body, and they keep the tubes too straight to where they don't follow the contours of the body. So as with the bumpers, I don't know if you can see here, let me close this. As with the bumpers, you can see I rolled this back edge to the same contour as this, which just gives it a slightly better look of, hey, this is actual purposeful, and maybe the guy who sees it won't think that I built it in this tiny little garage. Same thing with the front bumper, contoured to the header panel there. So similar idea, probably painted the same. And then for these 24-hour challenges, end up taking a lot of recovery gear. Not a lot of room on the inside, especially if we do 3-man teams. Last one we did a 2-man team, but it's fun. People want to be involved. So try to keep the back seat functional. And when we go up a tire size, that tire is not fitting inside the hatch. So probably we'll make it a little undecided. But I may have another tube up here that functions as a roof basket. So I think my goal is that if you see this driving down the road, you don't think of a Jeep with or an exo cage. I want you to think that's a Jeep with a roof rack system on it. And you gotta like take a double take to say like, oh, hey, that's actually fully caged. It's harder. Why am I doing it? I don't know. It's just a junky XJ, but I like building stuff and I'm having fun. So that is what I'm up to tonight. Got started pretty late. So I have 3 of these on. I thought I was going to have to contour them because I didn't think this roof was perfectly flat. And to be honest, it's not. But it's only about a 32nd or, you know, a millimeter out or so. Maybe not even a millimeter. So when it's not really distorting the roof. So I'm going to run with it. And I'm going to get one more plate drilled. And that's probably going to be all for tonight. With this kind of project, I like to take my time. You know, do a step you feel confident in, stare at it, look at it, think about it. Obviously, I'm not making this cage to make money, so I have all the time in the world. And you can see I've got the seats and stuff in here, so even in this process, probably be driving it when it makes sense and it's safe. So the goal is to get these two, the B pillar tubing, which will be snuck in here beside the driver, and probably a harness bar, and the C pillar tubing and rear triangulation all done. Once that's all done, then we'll start figuring out the top. Other quick updates. At the junkyard over the weekend, I finally picked up a set of Jeep Liberty disc brakes, and inside this plastic bag is a stinky track lock limited slip differential. That's what was in the budget for right now. Got all that stuff for $100. Will definitely help in the 24-hour challenges. You know, I know track locks aren't the greatest. I think it actually does work well for a lot of these gravel road sections. And, you know, we got a winch anyway. I think we winched 600 feet of winch line in Ohio at that 24-hour event. And it's all part of the adventure. So track lock will help that a little bit. We'll see how it holds up. Probably move to like an aux locker, selectable locker at some point. I don't know. We'll see. So we'll get that put in, and yeah, we're having fun, and glad the bumper project's done. You can check out those videos. I got several long format videos on those. Not the most overly produced stuff, but most people aren't watching this stuff anyway. So if you're interested, like, comment, let me know if you have any questions. Hope you're out there working in your garage, getting some projects done. And again, I'm Dan from Build to Explore. Thanks for watching.